I'm joined with Denali.
Yes.
George is sick.
Yeah.
Razi is taking the Viet Cong army by storm on the border of Cambodia. We wish him
Yes.
the best. All right, so this episode of the Orville, it's their finale. Um, After the last episode before this was
hmm
just so kick ass and just over the top awesome. And then we were left with this lovey-dovey finale, which I just didn't care for it. I thought it was shit. What did you think?
Monster.
It seems like they were trying to tie up all the loose ends, is what I got out of this.
That's basically what it was because they're not sure if there's going to be a fourth season. So instead of having a cliffhanger happening, they're just tying everything up.
Uh,
Um, and if they get renewed, then happy days, they'll get the new thing. If they're not renewed, um, then this would be here you go, satisfy ending. There you go.
but the problem was though they tied up all the relationship and drama crap, but what
Yeah.
they didn't tie up was what happened with the Krill and the Mocklins. I mean,
Well, that's the thing. They can't tie everything up. You know, um, if here's the thing, if they get renewed, then they need some drama. So the Mocklin and Krill could be for season 4 if a season 4 happens. If a season 4 doesn't happen, then we don't.
oh,
We don't work.
hold on a minute. Sorry about that, Distant. I forgot to put this up. So go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, Distant.
yeah.
What were you saying?
No, I was saying that um, if a season 4 happens, then you have some conflicts that you can build upon. Because the worst thing you want to do as a writer or coming back into a TV series is you got everything um, resolved and you don't have any new problems happening.
Yeah, I guess. I
But
just
but they did put some seeds in of new
no.
relationships, which is
Uh, that's
which
all
is
this episode was. It should have been called Lovey Dovey. Oh, everybody's getting married. Everybody's happy.
well,
We're having a
well,
ball.
this actually I watched this before Prey, and I should have watched Prey before this one.
So
Yeah.
once
So
again,
so
we
yeah,
go ahead.
we start out with the renewals of the resident duos, the Mocklins, as they perform their um, mating renewal bow rituals, which is basically one chasing the other for aggressive sex. That thankfully we didn't have to see, but we were given explicit details of how vicious it was supposed to be.
Oh, I was
And
expecting them to do that after all the other crap, but
yeah,
I wish I could have bet money on this because that was the first thing that popped in my head. I just had this feeling that the first thing we're gonna do is be back to the Mocklins and their garbage and all this, and sure enough, here we go. It was
right.
just right on spot, man. Like I knew it was. It was like Seth MacFarlane called me and told me even.
He's like whisper in your ears after he sniffed you.
It's like
You white polar bear. He's like tell you, you want to be in my new animated TV show, Hargrave? I need a polar bear that smokes on
it's
an
like
Hawaiian shirt.
I give you this awesome theater worthy episode. Now suck it up. Here's some Mocklin trans stuff and
Yeah,
gay rights activism again. Now take it. Okay, all right.
right. So
Yeah.
it didn't bug me at all. It was part to the course because they have to be better. It's just somebody else culture. Okay. Okay, cool. And then we go and we get a hailing frequency from teenage replacement redshirt. Um from from yeah, basically she's
Yeah,
the new
that's
red shirt.
basically what it is. Yeah.
She's like, I now have to adapt to this new world where I come from your similar Earth because everybody's canceling each other and we wear the same 20th century clothing. And look at my hairstyle. And I'm a
Okay.
redhead. I'm a
You,
dying breed.
I just remembered this because I should have wrote this down because I really wanted to discuss this. So
Yeah.
there's this part
Mm-hmm.
where Kelly and her are in this bar,
Yeah.
and Kelly is explaining to her basically communism and how good it is and all this. And
You know what this reminds me of?
what?
Picard in First Contact, where he's telling the same thing to the black woman
Oh yeah, yeah, like
before he breaks his ship.
yeah, it's like, oh, we don't have money anymore. We decided not to be greedy and all this, and
When there's no material scarcity, then going for resources isn't needed. You know?
you notice how they always use that like food generator or the
So,
materials generator as like
yeah.
a it's like an economic plot point thing. I noticed. It's
Well,
like
they can't think out of it because Star Trek did it first. They're saying Star Trek became their utopia and able to better themselves because they didn't have to worry about, you know, worrying of acquiring materials. Because here's the thing: material equal resource, and resource equal capital. Capital equals money. What does money ultimately means? The more money you have, the more freedom you have to do what you want. The less money you have, the less freedom you want to have. So basically, they were able to overcome that barrier of money, but they didn't. But they also had the maturity to be disciplined, and that's the problem that our society, as a whole, we are not in that mature state for that utopia where we cannot conceive, which
yeah,
is the whole, which is what,
our socialist utopia where
yeah,
we can't have freedoms or anything, but we can make whatever the hell we want out of thin air.
right. So that's the spiel where she's like feeling guilty. It's like, but you can give them all you want and they'll make it better. And they're like, and here's what I agree. If you haven't earned it, you don't deserve it.
Well, here's the real
You can't
yeah,
appreciate it. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but
yeah,
the fuck up there is okay, so Kelly takes her because this idiot tries to steal a thing or something to that she can't even use. It was very stupid. Like she tried to
it was a data pad
yeah,
basically with with the blueprints of the scanners, the synthesizer, and the water making stuff.
yeah, so she tries to take that to her planet thinking she's going to save her people and all this.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
Kelly busts her and then takes her to the holodeck thing. And she's like,
um,
"Oh, look at this! Look at how nice this is. It's downtown L.A. 100 years ago or whatever."
yeah,
And
yeah.
she's, and then they cut to like some like just
No,
god awful. Go ahead.
5 years later.
Okay, yeah, 5 years later, and it just looks like a nuke hit there,
Well,
and then some.
they were honest. She was honest. This is what happened when the union came into being. So you basically show this is what happened when communist comes to be because that's exactly what happened to California.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, what I was thinking during that was
Mm-hmm.
why doesn't the union
Mm-hmm.
uh just have control over the stuff they're doing and keep the people away from it to help them? Like that drove me nuts. I'm like, okay, so
Because
you just
they're
go ahead.
not that smart. They're not that smart. They're only as smart as the writers in the
Yeah, I mean,
so
logically, you would think that the union would just say, "Okay, look, you're struggling and you're fucked and all this, so we're gonna help you, but you're
but
gonna have to stay away from this because it's this advanced thing. But we're gonna give you clean water and all this stuff, but
I
we
wouldn't
can't
even
give it to you because you'll kill yourself."
no, I wouldn't even do that. I would be like, you know what? They're struggling, and let's find a contact, and we will see the idea through, and let them earn it. We see them some of the technology, not a lot, and not the whole thing, but
Oh,
bits.
like you're testing them or whatever.
Exactly,
Okay.
because that way they can grow, kind of like how you're a parent and you kind of teach your child how to do it, but you ultimately let your child do it. You know, like
Yeah.
you help them stand up, and then you let them work it out and figure out how to stand up, and then to crawl, and then to walk or to ride a bike. You help them get on, and then you hold on to them as training wheels,
Do
and
you
then you let
remember
them.
do you remember this episode with this girl? Because I barely remember it. Like, wasn't it something where they went to a
Season,
planet and
yeah, it
they
was
had
season.
like dislikes or something for people?
Exactly, yeah, yeah. That was with the black guy, Lamar, where he went to. I think it was season 2 where they were making fun of the council culture by doing the dislike, voting for dislike and angry and all that stuff, which is supposed to be what supposed to be mocking us, what how we are right now.
I do want to watch that episode again because I remember laughing. It was something where she got downvoted to hell or something.
Yeah,
I'd have to watch it again. I can't remember
yeah,
what.
she got canceled.
And then I don't even remember how she found Kelly in them. I don't know.
Oh,
I'd have to watch it again.
because of Lamar. Basically, what happened is Lamar went down there, and he wasn't supposed to, but and he hooked up with her, and she helped him, but she got downvoted, but she stole the union communicator. That's how she communicated with them um, in this episode from stolen technology from Lamar.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, so that's what that thing was. She throws on the table right here.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, that was
So
pretty much the most exciting thing that I could say happened this episode. Really, everything else I didn't really care about.
yeah,
It was just lovey dovey, and we're gonna get married. Blah blah blah. Okay, this right here, this had potential. They could have really done something funny with this, but
you
he
know,
comes out and they just cut away from it. I'm like, really?
well they no they cut back into it, and you see what it is, which is not even funny. But the point, you know what would have been even funnier? The expectation, because basically the expectation would have been that oh, we know what he is. He's a Moklet. He's going to be dry and he's not going to be funny, unlike your boy Steve, who's the pilot, who's actually is funny and could have done a better job. They could have gone again expectation and said when he came out here and started to sing, he could have been like fantastic and lit the show up and actually
No, yeah,
say,
that's what I was expecting, and I was
but he did
expecting the same thing at the wedding too, and they blew it there too. I'm like,
no,
it would have been so much funnier if he actually pulled it off, but
no,
no.
because they're subverting your expectations.
Oh yeah, of
Because they're like, we know that you're going to think that we're going to pull this, but instead we're just going to do this because it's easier.
course.
It's like, no, we know that you know that we know that you know that we know that you know that's going to happen. So because you know that we know that you know we're going to do this, we're not going to do what you know we're going to do, and do what's actually going to happen.
So most of this is about the robot and the
Yeah,
doctor are
getting
getting
married.
married.
They went Tasha, right? That was from TNG, right? Tasha
Oh,
and Data.
Tasha Yar. Yeah.
Yeah, Tasha. So they just pulled the Tasha Yard plot thread from TNG and just expanded to, getting married. And the fact is that she couldn't even get married with him in the costume. They had to make him look human. I mean, what are you doing, Doctor? You're marrying a giant vibrator.
Well, you know what I found like weird. Okay, so her reasoning for wanting to marry him was
Yeah,
because he's going to look over her and watch her entire family tree and history or whatever.
yeah.
And that was like her deciding factor. Like I was
So
like,
so basically, bicentennial man. It's
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
I'm your great 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 great
Yeah,
great
what
great
is he gonna
great
do? Keep
great great.
marrying the kids down the road or something? I mean,
You don't know. I mean, she's a pansexual.
apparently so.
I mean, she likes pans.
Let's see. Oh yeah, and then
They brought her back.
yeah, from this gal from the first season, they brought her back, and then her and her replacement are joking about being the security chief or whatever.
Yeah,
And
and that's it. That's it.
yeah,
That's real.
that's pretty much it. Yeah, I can't really. Oh,
There's
this is the part that George was laughing about. George found this funny. I'll say this for him. He
is
said,
that's a lot of balls.
"Yeah, yeah." So Isaac decides to invite the
The whole family.
entire robot race to the wedding,
Yeah,
and then they can't fit them in there. So he says, "Well, you're gonna have to watch on screens or something
yeah,
because we can't accommodate you." And they're thinking the Kalons are coming to kill them or the deal's up or whatever,
right.
and they're just coming to watch the marriage, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
um, yeah, I think
That's
we've pretty
it.
much covered everything on there. All right.
There's nothing else.
Um, this season overall, there's only 2 episodes I like really. The rest of it I could care less. I just
This season overall, you
uh,
could tell that McFarlane didn't have the heart in it like the previous seasons.
I mean, the only other episode that I can say I really liked was the one where they were the Tron gal was trying to scare them,
Hmm.
or she wanted to see what death felt like or something. That did
Yeah.
make me laugh with Bortus in the school and he's threatening those girls. That did make me laugh.
Hmm.
All right, we'll go on to the next thing here.
Okay. Apex Comics. Prey.
So this came out today, and or
Yes.
yesterday, I should say, because I watched it yesterday. Um, I've been arguing with people in the Discord and stuff. Everybody seems to like it. To me, I thought it was just okay at best. Like it just seemed to be the same thing to me. Powerful women, the whole bit. I don't know. Am I wrong? What did you think?
I remember when I told you I should have watched this um, before this movie. I should have watched this movie before Orville. It's because while I was watching this and the Predator chasing the girl, it reminded me of the Predator of the Mocklins chasing each other, at the beginning of this show, and I just started busting up laughing.
Yeah, it was stupid. And the Predator's
Uh,
got it looks like he's got a cooked chicken on his head.
it's supposed to be a stylized skull from his past conquest, but the point is that they made the Predator not. I didn't even feel that the Predator was threatening because all his action was kind of stupid. I remember the Predator back in when they first showed it, even the second one. The second one was so stupid, but it's still kind of scary. In this one, I didn't have any fear. I didn't have any tension. There was no tension. I knew that she was going to survive. Everybody else was going to die, but she was going to survive.
Yeah, of course.
Um,
She's powerful women.
Not even powerful women. Um, I know they took it off of the books. Remember, I don't know if you read the comic books back in the '90s, early '90s, where the Predators raise a girl to be with their tactics and all that stuff. That would have been more compelling with this, but and there's the basically they made the guy the alien overconfident. He took a lot of needless damage, and
Yeah.
basically she for plot devices she escaped things that should have killed her. The Predator from the first movie fighting Dutch was more threatening, where I believe that Dutch could have been killed. Here, I don't. I just feel like the Predator's just playing with her. I didn't feel like she really had a chance if he was really serious.
So
And
at the beginning, they had an insanely bad
uh huh,
telegraph.
yeah,
I knew what was going to happen the minute I saw this scene. So there is this scene where the main, I think it's her brother or something like.
yeah,
So their whole thing is like we're hunters and we're the best and all this and this what is it like a bobcat or a cougar or something shit tries to get her. It gets this. Oh, there's this funny scene. So she's talking to this
mountain
other
lion,
guy.
yeah,
Yeah, she's talking to this other guy on this sitting on this treetop, and he's telling her like she's a piece of shit and she's not gonna do anything with her life and she
yeah,
should leave. She should just get out of here and all this. And this bobcat thing or the mountain lion comes out of nowhere and just kills this guy. And then she gets up, and then the mountain lion gets up there, and she's able to stab it in the side before she falls off and hits her head on the rock. And then they cut to her somehow back at the camp, and I guess the brother saved her. And then the
right,
brother comes in with the head of the mountain lion, and he's showing it, and then he's like, I'm the alpha person of the tribe and all this, and she's looking at him pissed off. And the minute I saw that, I knew instantly what the ending was. That was the worst.
yeah, yeah.
It,
Basically, that was a red flag for her
oh,
brother,
oh,
and of course gets uh he gets predatized.
yeah. That was the worst telegraph I've ever seen in my life. They just anybody watching that, you
You
saw
know,
that and you
I,
instantly go,
I
okay.
I was glad that this wasn't in the theater and this was in Hulu.
Oh, there's no way I would have paid for this in the theater. Man, I don't even
Yeah,
go to the theaters anymore. I just totally. I was gonna go see Top Gun. I did think about it, but
I think Top Gun is the like so far the only movie this year that's worth going to the theaters
yeah,
outside of Spider Man.
yeah, pretty
Um,
much.
but outside of that, there hasn't been any movie that really called
No.
say you must go watch it. Not like 2003 where you had like Lord of the Rings, you had like The Matrix and all that stuff coming out.
So the
2003 was awesome.
predator the predator on this, he doesn't have the
Uh huh.
he's got like a shittier version of the arm cannon thing or the shoulder cannon thing, I should
Right.
say. It looks like it shoots like I don't know what those are, like BB pellets or something. I don't know what it is. It doesn't shoot a laser. It
It
shoots
shoots
like
dart. It shoots darts.
yeah, I guess that's the best way to put it.
It shoots like missile guiding darts.
Yeah. And then it
That's
doesn't
what.
even have a nuke like the first Predator had. It
No.
had like a I don't know, like a JDAM bomb, like three little bombs came fly up out of it
Yeah.
and blow up.
Right.
I mean, I do understand that this is like a more primitive like predator, I guess, but still, it's like it's an advanced society. He should at least have like even just a crappy laser, even if it's just one or something. I don't know. It was there's this movie. I mean, if people like it, that's fine, but I just did not care for it at all. I struggled to get through with it. A lot of it was boring to me. It was just her wandering around and doing stupid shit. And then they come across some like French what are those guys, like poachers or something, and
Yeah.
they use her and her brother as bait, and
Yeah.
then the predator takes on this whole entire poaching thing of these people and it's just slaughtering them all over the place.
Because it doesn't like bait. I mean, she explains it in the movie that it wants to hunt dangerous prey. It doesn't want to hit doesn't want prey. It doesn't want the goat in the chain.
You
You know,
know, it certainly hunted all right, and it just kills all of these French
French.
poacher
Yeah.
guys, and
No,
then
they get the just deserves those damn Frenchmen.
and then she gets away, and then she finds the one guy later and cuts his leg off, and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna die now," and all this, and I hate your guts, and da da da, and he's like trying to get this gun working to shoot her,
Yeah.
and then she figured out Was it that she ate that flower? It made her invisible or something?
No, she figured out after giving the flower to the translator guy that made the person who consumed it invisible to the monster. Before because that guy with the amputated leg would have survived had the monster not stepped on his hurt foot and would have been alive at least with a less than a limb. Anyway, she uses that to use the the French trapper who kidnapped her and her brother as
Yeah,
bait, and then started attacking like wild cheetah or banshee or whatever you want to call it.
yeah.
Which I can respect. I mean, there's some things that I liked about it. There's some things I didn't really like about it. At the end of the day, once I knew where this was heading, I just went down the flow and I was just laughing the whole way. At some point in the movie, I was just rooting for the predator over the humans.
No, yeah. It's like I said that the moment the guy came back with the head of the lion or whatever,
Hmm.
I just instantly knew what the ending was. That was just such a giveaway. I was like, oh, sure enough, that's what happens. Here's the predator head.
Right. Okay. And then basically, when she comes with the predator head, instead of them, mourning that they lost how many of their young men.
Yeah, they lose like half the tribe.
Yeah, instead of mourning that she just lost her brother, they're all cheering, "Hooray! You brought in you're the now strongest alpha person, and we got to move away from the white people."
Yeah, and then they show this little girl, and it's like the most hardcore woke thing. And the little girl's looking at her, and she's like, "You can kill a predator too." And I'm just like, really?
The
This
irony,
is
which is funny, because the irony is that they all die.
yeah.
Why do you say? Why would I say they all die? Because of the gun. Do you remember the gun that she gives to her father
Yeah,
at
the
the end?
guy's gun or whatever. Yeah.
Well, that's the same gun that the Predator from Predator 2 gives to Danny Glover at the end of Predator.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
So that means that basically, because she succeeded in killing the Predator, she just doomed her own tribe.
Yeah, well, that's how it should have been at the get go. The beginning of the movie should have been the predator fighting their whole tribe, and then she barely gets away, and then it's hunting her because she's the last one.
Right,
That would have been like way better. Besides all of this, oh, they won't let me hunt because I'm a woman and all of this, and I'm gonna
right.
show them, and I'm gonna go be the best woman I can, and
You
I'm
know,
gonna show you misogynist and all
no,
this. I'm gonna give you a break.
what's so annoying is that they had her fall into the mud, and instead of using the mud as a cover device and say, "Oh, he can't see me in the mud," like oh, it's a callback to the first Predator
Yeah,
movies and
that's
other
what I
Predator.
thought they were doing. Yeah,
No, they just use her to. It's like, oh, this is where she's going to trap him later on, and basically, you know, use use that as a trap to kill him instead of being like, oh, I can use the mud to hide out. I don't know.
and the other thing is,
It's if this was a movie, it would be a
yeah,
C minus.
the other thing is when you finally see the predator, it looks like it's got a cooked chicken on its head, and it looks like a autistic predator or something. It just looks like shit. It looks like cowboys and aliens mixed with a predator. It looked like those aliens on there. I'm like, this is the predator. I mean, I've seen cosplay that
Yeah,
looks better than that. It just looked like really shitty. I mean, it was just really that if you're gonna have a predator movie, at least make the fucking predator look like a predator. I mean, I know the argument is that, oh well, it's a prehistoric predator, or this is like an older version or whatever. But I mean, when you took the mask off and you see the thing, it looked like something out of World of Warcraft or something. I'm like, what is this thing? It looked like a an orc or something. It just, I don't
They
know. It
couldn't. They
just
couldn't. They couldn't use the same. They had to be 25% difference because of copyright issues. They probably lost the license to actually use the same Predator um, likeness because Stan Woodson's company created the design. So, you know, that's probably why it looks different. You don't change it because you want to, you change it because you have to.
I guess so.
That's it.
I I guess
That's
there's people that like it out there. If you like it, that's
I
fine.
love it. I'm happy for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I
You know,
just
I was laughing. All I can think of is the two gay guys chasing each other in the fields watching this film.
I just the main thing the main that main thing with the beginning where he drops the head and all that just it was just such a dead giveaway with the ending, man. Like I just
Hmm.
couldn't get over that. Like I
Hmm.
tried to watch it, but I just knew what the ending was once they showed that, and that was it.
All right.
I don't know if I was to rate this movie, I'd say maybe 3 out of 10. That would be being generous. Oh, you know what? I'll say this: it is better than the last Predator movie. That last
Yes.
one was god awful.
That's why I said a C
Oh,
minus.
yeah. I mean, when you saw what we had before, I'll say that this is a slight improvement, maybe
Well,
one
get get
percent.
get ready for Prey 2 because they show more of them coming. And we will see how she dies under the predator hands.
Oh, I wonder if they're gonna have chickens on their heads.
Pop, pop, pop. They probably will.
Uh,
Remember that big predator skull in Predator 2?
I barely remember what happens on Predator 2. I just remember he was trying to. It was Danny Glover, and he was trying to freeze it or something, and he couldn't
Yeah.
freeze it, and I don't know. I haven't seen it in so long, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even. I just don't remember much of what happens on there. I'll
Well,
share this before we go here.
yeah.
Here's your
Fantastic.
Immortal Mask book here. That's for sale.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Says, please note, this is not a pre-order or a crowd-funded campaign. You can get it
Yep.
at denali's.com.
Yeah.
3 books, 48 pages each, black and white, over 130 pages of story density,
Yep.
distributed by Critical Blast Logistics, allow 2 to 3 weeks for handling and shipping.
Yep.
So if you want to check it out, it looks pretty good. I got mine. I ordered mine, so book one's on its way, coming soon, and then I guess later on you'll have the color one. What George was saying.
Yep. One thing at a time.
Well, you're not going to launch 20 campaigns like EBS here. What about your toys and all this? We got to get your toys and your.
Oh my gosh.
We need to get 100. We need to get $500,000 for our Immortal Mask figures, people. Come on now. Oh hey, Rizzy, we're right at the end. Um, I guess that's about it. We don't have anything else to talk about, so
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Rizzy for showing up and Apex Comics and his usual Stream Elements, who's actually working for once, and Denali, who showed up. Oh, by the way, I don't think I'll be streaming much till Stargirl comes out at towards the end of the month. If there's something in between that, I might
Well,
stream, but
do you want to do Sandman from Netflix and see how that's
um,
progressing?
I guess I'll try the first episode and see how it is. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. Have you watched the first one?
I haven't seen it, but if you watch it, I'll watch it.
All right, yeah, I'll give the first one a shot, I guess, and see how it is.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of drama about that show for some reason. I don't know. I don't know anything about Sandman really, to be honest. So, but
Some
at
pe-
the
some
go ahead.
some people are very protective of Sandman. You know,
Well,
everybody
what
has.
wasn't it that they made a character black or something? I hear that's the big deal. One of them was black or something.
Uh,
That
you know,
they race swapped it or something.
You know,
I don't know.
at this point, it's Neil Gaiman, so they probably did a lot of things different.
But yeah, anyways, from this point on till the first episode of us, unless something happens in between or we start watching the Sandman, I just won't be streaming unless there's just I gotta have something to talk about if we're gonna stream. So
Yeah,
I'll definitely be doing Stargirl season 3, which is August 31st, I believe. I
yeah.
don't know if you've seen that. Risey won't. Well, he couldn't get past the second season, so.
I haven't got past the first season. I haven't even watched Stargirl.
Oh man, it's really good. It is okay. If this Prey movie had used the example of how they did Stargirl, then you would have had something because Stargirl, she's just like a clumsy teenager, and she don't know what the hell she's doing, and then she
Mhm.
finds the staff and all that, and she gets her ass handed to her all over the place, and she literally has to get like insane training just to be able to do it. It's accurate. It's like realistic. That's the problem with all of this shit.
Okay.
They don't make it like realistic or anything. It's this whiz
Then
bang, you know.
then did you want to rewatch Stargirls and review those?
Well, yeah, I've been trying to get. I was meaning to do that with George. We haven't got around it, but yeah, if you watch the first 2 seasons,
Okay.
I'll definitely do a show where we talk about it. I
Okay.
tried to get Risey, but like I said, he couldn't get past the second season. He didn't
All
like the
right.
second
So
season.
I'll watch the first season and we can talk about each episodes.
Well, I've already done reviews of those, but we can just do an overview. That's what
Okay.
we should do, an
An
overview of
overview.
season 1 and 2 before the third one comes out.
Okay. So I'll watch the first season and then we'll do an overview of season 1 and then we'll watch it. Then I'll watch the season 2 and then we'll do an overview of season 2. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. So, I guess this is it, people, unless there's
Yeah.
something happens between this and Stargirl time.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
We got to celebrate our differences. We got to celebrate our differences.
Ooga booga doo, ooga booga doo.
We got to celebrate our differences.
Nacho taco, chimichanga. Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah. Kleptocracy. The guys who the kleptocracy.
No! My ball! You got issues, lady.
Get out! Get out!
Come on, dude.
Get
crazy.
out!
She's crazy.
Get out! Stay out!
That's what I thought.